Thank you for tuning in and checking out another episode of Unlucky, a memoir. My name is Kat. Everyone has a story. This one just happens to be mine. Welcome back. Another week down. I think this week I'm going to talk a little bit more. I think we've touched on this before. Discernment. And how important that's become in my own recovery. I tend to tell clients there's a core group of people that are in my life that I speak to on a regular basis, some of them daily, but regularly. And these aren't just people I met yesterday. These are people that I've known most of my life. Some of them not as long, but I've gotten to know them really well over the past couple of years. And I message these people and talk to them regularly, and they respond regularly. And that's that core group I can lean on whenever I need assistance, need to talk about something's going on, whatever it is. Those are the pillars that support me in my recovery. And there's multiple people outside of that circle that I can reach out to, but the core group are the ones that really matter. And that group is constantly in flux. More people add themselves to it all the time. But again, those aren't people I met yesterday. These are people that I've spent time with, had serious conversations with, that I can tell have my best interests at heart. They want to help me move forward as much as I want to help them move forward in whatever they're struggling with. And I've had clients who like to cast a wide net and drag in as many as they can. And then they get frustrated when these people don't reciprocate, they don't respond, they don't communicate. And that's what I mean about discernment. You can't just invite everyone into your life and expect it to be a positive experience. And I've learned that the hard way over the years that I've struggled with my own addiction, and even in times of sobriety, abstinence, like being more concerned with the wrong things. And over and over, my brother gives me some really good advice. When I was looking at stepping into the role at the organization I work for now, I was asking many people for guidance and what they thought, because I valued these people's opinions that I keep close. And he said the one thing that seemed to slip by everybody else. And that's why it's important to have multiple people. A wise man seeks many counsel. It says that in Proverbs, in the Bible, multiple times, right? And it's one of those things where that one person might have something to say that nobody else has touched on. Not that other people didn't give me good thoughts, right? But when I was looking for this job, when I was looking at coming to this job and taking this position, he asked me the one question nobody else asked: how is it going to affect your recovery? And even though that's the first question I should be asking myself, that wasn't. So it's good to have people that will ask you the question that you need to be asking yourself, and that was, how is it going to affect your recovery? And an incident recently that never really developed, but it put me on edge, and I had some hard thinking to do. And that was the one thing that he said in that situation too, is the most important thing has to be the gains you've made in your recovery. And that's what I try to tell these clients about discernment, right? Like, that has to be at the forefront. And I see that. Like, that's definitely one of the things that I weigh whenever I have to make a decision, is how is it going to affect my recovery? Because my recovery is paramount. It's the most important thing, first and foremost. Because without that, nothing else is nothing else really matters, right? Because if I don't protect my recovery and I don't stay in recovery, then I'm no use to anyone. So discernment, right? Like, you can't just cast that wide net. You can't drag everything that comes in with it. Not not every fish is a keeper. Like, be patient. Have conversations with people before you decide that they are part of that circle that you need in recovery. And not just that, it's not really fair to a lot of people to just throw them into that mix and then getting upset when they don't reciprocate. Because not everybody's looking for that. Not everybody's looking to be part of that core team, especially that quickly. It's like the people that are in my group, the more recent ones anyway, are people I talk to at least once a week for the past year and a half, I guess, something like that. And I've gotten to know and trust them, and I can have conversations with them and be completely open and honest and know they're going to give me the feedback that I need. Not always the feedback I want to hear, but the feedback I need to hear. And how do you know a person's capable of doing that if you really didn't spend the time to get to know them? I've seen people do this in relationships where they're 6 months in before they realize there's things about their partner that they don't think they can live with. Well, if there are things that you don't think you can live with, those should be first and foremost. That needs to be right up front, because I know I can get there, right? Like, in past relationships, I've moved forward in them selfishly because I didn't want to be alone. And instead of putting my non-negotiables right up front, like, this is what I need out of a relationship, I'd wait because I'd be scared to bring it up for fear that their answers weren't going to align with what I needed, which means it would end the relationship. And that's a silly fear on my part, because the relationship is doomed because they aren't going to meet those expectations. If I'm too scared to be discerning in who comes into my life and setting my boundaries and what I need and expect, and really giving this person a fair shake of getting to know them before I assume things and put expectations on them. Because a long time ago, a sponsor told me expectations are premeditated resentments. And a lot of people like give me a weird look at that, like not understanding it. And it's, I can only expect things from myself. And even then, I too fall short. So you can't strap expectations on anybody anyway, but especially people that just walk into your life. It's like you can't leave your door open to anybody in the world just to walk through, because not everybody has your best interest at heart. Not everybody is there to help. A quote from Batman: some people just want to see the world burn. I've had enough of those people in my life where they just want to stir the pot and get some commotion going, drop a grenade and run. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, again, so blessed to work in this field and seeing people that are struggling in areas that I have heavily struggled in and still sometimes can struggle in today, because it reminds me to be vigilant. It reminds me to stay true to me. And I'm not alone, and I don't have to be afraid of being alone. Like, that's not the reason to bring people into your life. So with that, I'm going to again tell you all how grateful I am for each and every one of you for tuning in and watching these videos every week, leaving comments, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff that feeds the algorithm to hopefully get these videos out to more people. Because again, these videos do so much for me in my recovery, and in some way I hope they can help someone else in theirs. And again, everything that I talk about, it doesn't only apply to addiction and recovery in the sense that it applies to me. We used to joke that if only the normal people had a 12-step they could go to, because the drugs and alcohol, never the problem. It was me and the things I refused to work on and look at. So if any of this can apply to your life, please, I hope it helps. And again, thank you all for tuning in, checking this out. It means a lot to me. I'll catch you all next week.